It is alive. My face is very shiny this evening. It is alive. But once I start the story, I don't stop. So if you want to fast forward, that's fine. Like I say, I'm here at 8 o'clock every Thursday, but I am over on the TikTok as well, which is JessRose5472. You can join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/JessRose5472. So what I'll do, I'll just wait for a couple of people to join the live if they join, hopefully. And then we'll get started. So like I say, if you want to fast forward, that's fine. If you don't want to hear me rambling along. But I hope you're all okay out there. And if you don't want to have to fast forward, it also does go up on my pre-recorded videos as well. If you want to have a look in there. So that's your choice. Hi sis, how are you? How's it going? How are we? How are we on this lovely Thursday, right before the kids break up, which I'm very happy about. How we doing? Can't seem to get the hair right these days, can I? Don't know what's going on. I did put my fringe the other side. I've been wearing it the other side this week. But yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. What you doing the weekend then? What you doing the weekend, Lobber? Anything exciting? How you feeling? How's it going? Hey, Phil. How you doing? Phil, I'm so sorry. I only saw your comment right towards as I was about to go live, to be honest. So, one, I'm sorry for missing your comment. And two, I'm so sorry about the job, Phil. Do you know what, though? It just wasn't meant to be. That wasn't the job for you. That's what my mum says. It just wasn't meant to be. So you know what? Your ideal job's out there. That's what I'll say. They would have been lucky to have you, so more fool them. Oh, you're going for a meal? Very nice. We are actually. We are. We have a teenager entering the house on Saturday. So, yes, we will have a meal too. It's frightening. Frightening. Yes. But, what are you going to say? Do you know, my face is so shiny. This evening, don't worry about it. This is the thing. Fully expecting loads of restriction in order to get the exit. No, do you know what, Phil? I don't reckon you will. I reckon you maybe get a couple and then your job. Do you know, I've took my glasses off and I cannot see that camera. I know I'm looking at it, but I could not see that camera then. That's terrible, isn't it? But your job's out there, Phil. It's just waiting for you. It's just waiting for that CV to come in. That's all that's happening. Tiff, did you see I don't know if you commented, but did you see Warwick's comment earlier? Warwick won't be joining us. He's just got annoyed at his comments not showing up. I can imagine it's going to be frustrating for him. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, he said it's about 75% of his comments just aren't showing up. So he's not being able to, he can't join in. He can't join in the live. So he's left us. It's very sad. It's very sad. Hopefully he'll come back. Hopefully he may come back. But, yeah, I think he's just had enough. Don't blame him, though. I genuinely don't. I don't blame him. You know what I mean, though? It was always going to take time and be a lengthy journey, not an overnight thing. Oh, I know what you mean, Phil. I do. And I think, what do they say? Good things come to those who wait. You know, these sayings come from somewhere. I'm really gonna miss Warwick keeping us on our toes, but also I don't blame him. If only YouTube would sort itself out. He's nosing my head on TikTok. Well, that's good. What was I going to say? No, I know what you mean, fella. I will too. It's just, okay, right. So I did email YouTube. Hear me out, guys. I emailed YouTube, as I'd said, hadn't had anything. So I resent them another one at the weekend, I think it was. And they came back. Couldn't believe it. Came back. First was a guy saying it's not him. and he'll forward it on. And I was like, yeah, all right. But I had a lovely woman called Jan. Now, I don't know if Jan's a real person or Jan's an AI, but I think she was real because she was referring to what I put in the email. I mean, she missed a few things, but for the most part, she kind of replied to what I put. Anyway, she was saying, keep chugging along. There's no blocks on your channel. There's no shadow banning, apparently. And be proud of the 2,000 subscribers I've got and keep chugging along. So, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. Hold on. Wait a second. You are definitely watching the numbers are grassing you, pal. Not necessarily. I thought that when I looked, but hang on, I need to give a wink because Mum said she'll join in. She did. So that's to Mum. Now, I don't know if it is Mum, but I'm just gonna keep winking. It's me. Hi. Ah, there she is. There she is, winking away. Hey, how are we, Mum? Monji, are you listening, Mum? Or are you just reading? Tiff, you're not going to have to get a new phone. Also, every time anyone mentions blowing jokes. Oh, dear. Mother, show yourself. Who she is. I said I'd wink. So she was here. At least I weren't winking at random people this time. The amount of times I've done that and it's been at nobody. Very funny. But, yeah, so it's sad. Still, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't turn my notifications off. Oh, I didn't do it. Can I do it? I said I would wink. There's my wink. Right, I'm going to turn my notification. I don't know if I... Stay there, guys. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, I can. Where are you? Show yourself to me. Oh, right. There it is. All right, there we go. I don't know what you could see then. I don't know if you could still see me or you couldn't see anything. Tiff, is it really because you've divorced from Warwick? Is that the real reason why he's not joining us anymore? Did you divorce him, Tiffany? Did you divorce your YouTube husband? Because I won't be happy if you've got rid of my subscriber. I won't be happy about that. Getting rid of my subs because you fell out and divorced. I don't know. Do you not even remember? That's terrible. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Phil, what you doing the weekend then? What's happening the weekend with you? Tell me. Apparently not. What you doing the weekend? Tell me. So you're going for a meal, Tiffany? I hope so. Warwick at least reads the lives in the comments afterwards so we can see we're keeping the jokes up for him. Yes, I'm sure he will. Hopefully. I'm hoping he does. I am. I think he just had enough. I know it's driving him insane. His comments were just, he said a lot, 75% weren't coming through and he weren't being able to join in the laughs and stuff with you. I think it was just frustrating him. All about listening to the sport for me. Football, rugby, cricket. Oh my God, you've got a jam-packed weekend then, Phil. That's a lot going on. Oh, exciting stuff. Well, like I say, I will have a teenager come Saturday, Phil. My boy turns 13. I'm frightened. I'm waiting for him to turn into Kevin and Perry. Well, not both, but hopefully not both. One of them. I'm his YouTube wife. I know he's watching. Wife senses. Laugh if you were just talking to yourself. But, yeah, my boy. Hey, Kelly. How's it going? He's just, Kelly, are you a grandmother again yet? Love the Rugby Six Nations fan. See, Phil, I told you my mum's a rugby fan. All sports fan. All of them. He won't turn into Kevin. He's too sweet. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I can't cope. I was just saying, Kelly, my son turns 13 at the weekend. And oh, God. I just feel the straps on his way. Like the skulking. I feel like I personally found my teenage years to be the worst of my life. Oh, haven't we all, Phil? Oh, my God. They were just the worst. I don't envy my kids at all, knowing they've got that to go through. If I can get them through the next decade, scrape, virtually scrape. No, what's the word I'm looking for? Virtually, not scraped. I know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, if I get them through that, I'll be happy. Not yet. She's getting her third sweep tomorrow. Oh, my God. But she'll be induced on Tuesday. Oh, exciting. So by next week, let's go. It's a little... Oh, God. Here's my test now to see if I've actually listened. It's a little boy. It's a little boy, isn't it? Oh, God. It's a little boy, Kelly. Is it? Oh, God, you're going to tell me to go now, ain't you? I was an amazing teenager. No, she was not. She was horrible. No, she wasn't. She was golden. I would have 10 teenage boys before I go through my girls' teenagers. Oh, well, don't, Kelly. Don't say that. Don't. Yeah, use the boy. Say. I knew I was listening. I knew I was. Ah, thank you, Phil. Bye for now, Phil. Oh, you are. Give you a wink. There we go. Girls are the worst. They're just the worst. Not even my own. Well, not yet. It's the others. They're just horrible, aren't they? They're just the worst. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, no. Not for me. Not for me at all. I just want to get them through. Bye, Mama Bear. Bye-bye. Still winking. She's probably... Oh, she has. She's gone. Oh, God. But, yeah, I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it, guys. I'm not excited. Moni's evil inside. She's judgy and cranky. See, I know what you're saying, but I kind of want to get there. I want her to be like that. At the moment, she's just kind of, she's just such a softie. Teenage is the worst part of life, not child, not adult. You don't have a... Do you know what's really funny about teenagers, though, that always makes me laugh? You know that they hate everybody. They hate adults and they hate kids. But what they don't realise, it's mutual. Kids and adults hate them. So I don't know. It's like the chicken and the egg thing, isn't it? Who hated who first? Because, oh my God, when I'm driving to that school in the mornings, I pass a lot of senior schools. And they just strut across that road. And you're like, move. Oh, they're a nightmare. Mine's not girly at all. They're all rough as they come. All their memories under the thumb. Fair play, Kelly. Well, that's the perfect way. It's like they're neither one thing nor the other. I know, Phil. They're an absolute nightmare. Although, that's my opinion on teenagers, but being a teenager, it was horrible. It really was. You were too old to go with the young ones. Like, if you had cousins, you were too young to go with the older ones. Oh, just awful. Yeah, Kelly, honestly, yeah, I'd prefer that. I want that. Teenage is the worst part. Oh, I'm not tried. Why would you wish that on yourself, Kelly? Tell her she's not wired right. Oh, to get to that, that's what I want. She's just such a softie at the minute. Not with us. I think he's a thinking with us. No, not with us. She's a demon. She's an absolute demon. I'm just on about once she steps out the front door. All demoness gets left at the house. And I don't know what happens. So we need to turn that around. I just don't know. I used to hate all the clicky mom groups at Playground. Do you know what though, Kelly? I'm very lucky. because of my back, I get to park in the car park. So I don't have to. I don't. She has. Phil, she doesn't stay around for long. She doesn't. You can't hold her attention for too long at all. I think the most you'll hold my mum's attention is if the snooker's on or the football. That'll hold her attention. But no, this channel's not. Me jabbering and chatting and you chatting. No, it's just not going to hold her attention. But yeah, sorry. Yes, so I get to park in the car park. I'm like a VIP mum. So I'm very privileged. And I don't have to sit with all the peasants in the playground. Do you know, if any of them watch this, they're going to be like, what did you call me? What did you say? You know we can get into that car park. But yes, I'm privileged. Mine just viral all the time. Although she's very funny. Oh, she's very funny, Tiffany. Yes, and she's not vile at all. She's very funny. She has a mum's sense of humour. She's very lucky. They all going, oh, my child did this and my child did that. I managed to keep my child alive. That's enough. That's what I'm saying. Did you hear what I was saying? I wasn't saying I want to get them to, become lawyers. I just want to keep them alive for the next decade. If I can keep them intact until they hit their 20s, I feel like maybe we might have made it. We might be okay, touch wood. Because I know even then it's hit and miss. But if I can just get them through this decade now, which I'm going to be talking to you for, so you can go through it with me. If I can just get them through, I'll be like, oh. And I follow Tiffany because hers is a few years ahead of mine. So I follow her lead. And if she can get hers to that stage, oh no, I've got hope. I've got hope out there. I used to wait for my mum's. Hang on. I used to wait for one head to spin. She was that bad. Oh, never really. Well, head to spin. That's hilarious. That's what I'm saying in the house. We call her Hurricane. She's been called that since she was a toddler. And yet when she goes outside, she's not even she's a light drizzle. When she leaves the house, she's oh, was that a spot of rain? That's what she is when she leaves the house. But in the house, Hurricane is her nickname. It's mental. You should absolutely not follow me, sis. I hope someone's liked them enough to take them in. Oh, I'm trying, Phil. I'm trying to have confidence. It's just terrifying. It's just a minefield. And they couldn't care less. And I know, because I was that person. I remember it well. And, when you hear your parents go away until it's your time, you're like, yeah. Here I am, on the phone to my mum going, you would not believe this. And I know she's on the other end of the phone going, yeah, I would. Yeah, know it well. I've only got 2, Mum had 5. You are still that person. Jess, just follow me instead. Just follow you instead. In what way? What do you mean? Just follow you instead. What do you mean? Tell me what you mean. But, what did I miss there? You are still that person. What was the person? Oh, the teenage person. No. That was you. You should absolutely know. That was you. Tiffany was not a good teenager. She was not. I feel like you've got better, though. You have got better with age. You have. Kind of. Slightly. Right. Anyway, guys. Raising all these blonde kids. Oh, he didn't mean that. Oh, hi, Dale. How you doing? Oh, you're here in time for the story this week. And I'm going to do it this week. I was literally just about to say, I'm going to start. So there we go. Kelly, I don't know if you met Dale last week, but Dale joined us last week for the first time. So in our non-story live, whatever happened, it all went crazy last week. But the cat's nice and quiet. We're good. I'm in time then. Hope you are. You're in time. Well, yeah, because 20 minutes in, I still haven't started, Dale. At least I got through it. That's what I mean. Done much better than Tiff by the sounds. You did too much better than Tiff by the sounds of it, Phil. Definitely. Right, okay. I'm gonna leave Dale, I'm gonna leave you in the what's the word? Oh, the welcoming hands. The safe hands. The hands of the group. That's where I'm gonna leave you. Luckily for you, we haven't got Warwick this evening, but we have got Tiffany. So just keep that thick skin on. And we have got Kelly. And we also have got Phil. So put that thick skin coat on and you'll be fine. I promise they won't eat you alive. I promise. But I'm going to start the story now. Right, let's go. Phil, you wouldn't know. You can't see how I did. Oh, you're just, honestly, Tiffany. So here we go. There we go. Right, we're going to go. I'm leaving you all to it. I'm good. How about yourself? There we go. Right. Yes, I did include you, Phil. You are there. You are there. I did include you with them. You are just as bad sometimes. So let's go. All right. All right. Second intro incoming, guys. Second intro. Oh, I didn't get through this last week, did I? Let's see if we can do it this week. Let's go. Okay. Right, ready? Let's go. Oh. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Thursday at 8 p.m. I'm here with stories you might not have heard of. Obviously, if you've got any requests, let me know. I'm also over on the TikTok, which is Jess Rose 5472. If you would like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jess Rose 5472. Or you could just like or subscribe. That'd be great. And now that we've got all that out of the way, I'm going to begin the story, which, as the title says, is the devastating. Now, it is spelled Eliza, but everywhere I've heard her name pronounce it's Elisa. So we're going to go with Eliza Isquierdo. Oh, God, I've just butchered her surname. Do you know what, though? I'm not going to put on an accent to say her name. I'm not doing that. I find that so cringe when people do that. You can quite obviously hear I'm not Hispanic. So I'm not going to put on a fake accent for it either. So, okay. So let's begin. Okay. Now, Eliza, actually, let's begin. We'll begin with her parents first. Okay. So, Awilda and Gustavo, who are her parents. So we have Awilda Lopez and Gustavo Isquierdo. Okay. They both met at a homeless shelter in 1987. Now, Gustavo was working there. He was working there as a cook. I've seen cook, I've seen chef, I've seen maintenance work, I've seen a few things. He might have done a few of those things, but he was working there, whereas Awilda was an actual resident. She struggled with, I believe her drug of choice was crack. It was New York in the 80s. So I believe that was her drug of choice at the time. Now, Awilda did have 2 kids from a previous relationship at this time. And she was a very heavy drug user, really heavy drug user, okay? And because of that, she had recently lost her 2 children when she met Gustavo, okay? Now, on the 11th of February 1989, little Eliza Isquierdo was born. Okay, and this is, I might have just mentioned it's New York, so it's obviously an American story. Okay, now when little Elisa was born, she was born addicted to crack. Okay, so although Awilda had, when she got with Gustavo, she had, because she was in this shelter, she had got clean, but then she fell off the wagon, and yeah. So little Eliza was addicted to crack when she was born. Awful. Okay. So this basically caused the 2 to break up, quite rightly. All right. And the custody of Eliza was awarded to Gustavo. All right. And he used to call her his little princess. And it said that if there was ever a man thrown in at the deep end, but who did everything he could to succeed at being a dad, Gustavo was that man, okay? He would speak to his colleagues. They helped him. They showed him what, food to buy, what formula to buy, what nappies to buy, wipes. They really helped him out. He took parenting classes. He did everything for Eliza. He genuinely did. He doted on this little girl, okay? And like I say, he was doing really well at it as well. And it was said that he saw her as his little princess, and she filled that role very well. Very intelligent little thing, beautiful looking little girl. But yeah, and when you see her, she kind of had this air of, yes, I'm daddy's princess, and I'm set for life kind of thing. It was very sweet, to think that he was kind of thrown in that way. He wasn't expecting to be a single dad, and he was succeeding. All right. Now, we're going to get to November of 91. All right. And little Eliza was, I think she was 2 by this point. All right. And Awilda, she'd apparently been getting, she was getting herself well. All right. She'd beaten her addiction. She'd gotten herself a new home at this point, a new partner called Carlos Lopez. All right. These pair go on to have 3 kids together. Okay. And because she'd been doing well, supposedly, she'd also got her 2 older kids back. So now she's got this new partner, she's got this new home, she's got 5 kids. And, little Eliza, like I say, the kids came on, they didn't come when Eliza was 2, obviously, but all in all, she ends up with 6 kids in total, all right? Anyway, so she now wants Eliza back. And Eliza's doing really, really well. Gustavo, because he's working, and he was working really hard as well to make sure he could provide for her, he'd enrolled her in a private preschool. Okay, she was doing very well. And this is what I mean. She was so intelligent. Like the preschool, everyone loved her. The teachers loved her. She was just a really cute little toddler, going about hitting all the milestones really quickly. But like I say, Awilda decided, no, I want her back. I want to see her. I don't know why she just couldn't leave her alone. She was doing really well. All right. So the DFS or child services, whatever little abbreviations they come under, these people decided she should be given unsupervised access to Eliza. Yeah. Just throws her in. And Gustavo and the school noticed, sorry, I don't know where that's come from. Excuse me, I don't even know where that came from. Okay, so Gustavo and the school, they noticed that she would return from Awilda's. Let me just turn that down. They noticed that she would return from Awilda's with bruises, okay, and all over her. And Eliza would tell them she didn't want to see her mum anymore. She started wetting the bed. She would cry. She would hide. She didn't want to see her mum. She didn't. And it wasn't just that, this was a stranger to her and a strange man and other children that she didn't know. No, she's coming back with bruises. She's been hurt, okay? And they're just so worried about her, all right? So Gustavo and the school advised CPS and Awilda. Do you want to know what CPS did? Yeah, she was told, don't hit Eliza. Don't hit her, and we'll let you still see her. Don't hit her, though. Ugh. So, right, then we come to, right, bear with me. So now we are at 1993, okay? And little Elisa is age 4, all right? Now, she's a gifted student, all right? She really is. And Gustavo is hitting some health problems. So he's not being able to work as much. So he's getting behind on the preschool payments. Don't forget, he sent her to a private preschool. And he's getting behind on the payments. But because she's so gifted, the school get in touch with, I don't know if he had children there, but he was certainly a donor to this private school. And his name's Prince Michael of Greece. Okay. And they approach him, and basically when he meets little Elisa, this prince, he took an instant liking to her. She took an instant liking to him. He knew she was gifted. She'd also took a test to see when she goes into elementary if she qualified to go into the follow-on private elementary school and middle school and everything else. And she passed. She passed with flying colours. But obviously it costs money. This does. Well, Prince Michael of Greece was so just in awe of this little girl. He offered to pay for her private tuition at this prestigious school in Brooklyn. Okay. All the way through to her graduation. I mean, it's like winning the lottery. You know, your kid's schooling just paid for life. And he'd send her little gifts for Christmas and birthdays, and she'd write little notes back telling him thank you. You know, it was just, she was set. She was completely set. But as I mentioned, Gustavo was having health issues, all right? Which, as I mentioned, he wasn't being able to work as much. And basically, the health issues were with his chest, okay? And eventually, he goes on to be diagnosed with lung cancer. Well, I say eventually, it was quite quick. It was all quite a quick diagnosis, all right? And he panics. He really panics because he's thinking, obviously, a wilder's in her life. He knows she's got this life set up for her, but a wilder being the co-parent, Eliza will go to a wilder. He doesn't want that. He's panicking. He feels he can't protect her if he's not here, and he feels like he knows how he is. He knows he hasn't got much time left. Okay, so what he does, he books tickets to go back to his home country of Cuba. Okay, he books tickets for May of 1994. All right. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Basically, what he was going to do was book the tickets to go back to Cuba, and when he passed, he was going to leave Elisa with his cousin, who would have, kept in touch with the prince and been able to keep up with a schooling, maybe go to a private school there. It was all set. It was all in place. And he died the same day they were due to leave. Oh, God. Talk about just... this just brought... It's so upsetting, because had they even gone a couple of days before... it's so sad that he's died, and such a painful death of lung cancer anyway. That's awful. That's really, really sad. Especially this man who's put everything into this little girl. But on the same day, okay? So, of course, the wilder, yeah, she's like, give me my child. The dad's gone. Give me a child. Give me. Well, the school Eliza's school, who, don't forget, were aware of the bruises and aware that she didn't want a relationship with her mum. She was frightened. She'd started wetting herself. They wrote a letter to CPS. Even Prince Michael of Greece wrote a letter saying, please don't send this child back to her mum. Please don't. And they were in contact with Gustavo's cousin in Cuba. And she was ready. She was ready to accept Eliza into her home. No. What does CPS do? We know what CPS did. They were like, no, let's give it to a welder. You know, let's have all the reunification in one spot. And now she has 6 children with her new husband in this new property that we know she's been beating this child in. We know because we went to her and said, don't hit her anymore. Oh, poor Eliza. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine how this little girl, from this such quite a privileged, you know, first few years, and set to be a very privileged life, and just thrown in to this chaos that is Awilda and Carlos's home. Oh, it's just such a shame. Now, Carlos himself, around this point, where he'd stabbed Awilda 17 times. There's not a lot said about that. He was locked up. Doesn't appear to be for a long time. And he's let out on probation. So he's back home after 17 times he stabbed her. Because, yeah, despite, as I mentioned, despite all the warnings, the judge awarded Awilda this sole custody. And this was in September of 94. Little Eliza's age 5, okay? And when she gets there, obviously Carlos is back from his prison visit. And quite quickly, we realise that Awilda's not off the drugs. She's still on crack. She's got her 6 kids. He's just as bad. And she's on crack. She's an alcoholic. This is what they threw. This is what this judge signed this little girl back into. Not just, you know, I keep bringing up Eliza. Don't forget, Carlos and Awilda have got 3 kids of their own. And then she had 2 kids before Eliza that got thrown back into that destruction as well. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't. So Awilda decides she takes Eliza out of the private school straight away. The private school that was paid for. It was paid for. But no, my other kids can't go. Who does she think she is? She doesn't get to go to a posh school. My other kids can't go. So she takes her out and she puts her straight into a nearby public school. Again, Eliza has, I'm assuming private school is quite different. I've heard it is. And she's 5 years old. She's just lost her dad, who she's not allowed to talk about, by the way. And she's just thrown into this situation, thrown into a new school. That's a lot for anyone to take, let alone a little 5-year-old. Okay. Now, this new school quickly, very quickly, noticed that Eliza was very quiet, very withdrawn, and covered in bruises. You know, because CPS did tell her not, you know, don't hit her anymore. Yeah, oh, and of course she was going to listen. And yeah, they noticed she's black and blue. Okay. And what they noticed was she would also have trouble walking. She couldn't walk properly. And chunks of her hair were missing. So quickly, isn't it? So quickly. And CPS were called. Okay. They did do a home visit. So when they did this home visit, Awilda was so angry at the school involving themselves in her business as far as she's concerned. She takes her out of the school. Remember I said last week, was it last week or the week before, it's like a process, isn't it? It's a process. And you know the minute the kids are taken out of school, it's only going to go downhill from there. We already know. We know the drill by now. And so, yeah, she takes her out of the school. And as I mentioned, there's 6 kids in the home. Wilda's back on drugs. And Eliza was the one who was picked out for torture. Scapegoat, as we always talk about. It turns out Eliza is the scapegoat of this family. All right? So, she was mostly locked in her bedroom for the most part. All right? With the other kids in the house told to ignore her. They weren't allowed to talk to her. They were allowed to go out and play. They were seen out playing. They were allowed to play in the house. She wasn't allowed to play. She wasn't allowed to talk. They certainly weren't allowed to talk to her. She was just supposed to be invisible, basically. She was supposed to be invisible, except when the neighbours would hear screams coming through the walls. And that was when she was being beaten. For nothing. For no reason. Nothing at all. And the neighbours would hear, Mummy, please stop. No more. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mum. And this is being screamed by a 5-year-old little girl. And the neighbours would hear this, and they would make reports to CPS. They weren't just ignoring it. But nothing was done. Nothing was done about it. You know, not interested. They've done their reunification. They've done their job. You know, another family back together. Let's pat each other on the back. Well done, us. She was also made to eat. Well, let's face it, as we know how these stories go, she wasn't being fed. So she was being made to eat her own feces. She was being made to drink her own urine. She would mop the floor with her hair. She would punch and kick her. She was burnt on her head and her face and her body with cigarettes. This is Carlos as well. And also, she was being raped and sodomized with a hairbrush and a toothbrush. This was by her mum. Now, Carlos, he would beat her too. His hands weren't clean. You know, sometimes you get the stepfather who is the culprit of it, and the mum sits back and watches, or vice versa. But no, poor Eliza, she had it from both. This poor little girl. And it said that her older siblings sometimes were made to beat her too. They didn't want to, but they were made to get involved as well. So now we get to November the 22nd of 1995. She's age 6. She only was awarded custody in September of 94. So we're only talking, what, 12, 13, 14, 15 months? And a wielder calls her sister. Now, let me just backtrack a little bit here. Let me just go back a little bit. Carlos himself, he's been locked up for the previous, I believe, 3 months, okay? For going back on his parole and also beating Eliza. So he's locked up at this moment in time, okay? So let's not look at Carlos at the minute. Not that he's innocent, he's just not in the home at the minute, all right? Now, Wilda, on this date. She calls them her sister. And she says that Eliza, she's unresponsive. Now, I don't think, given the fact I've seen an interview with Awilda, that she used the term unresponsive. Do you know, I can't even be polite about this woman. I really can't. So, yeah, I don't think she used that term. But that's what she was saying. And she was saying there was liquid coming out of Elisa's nose and mouth. All right. And her sister tells her, take her to the hospital. And she was like, she looks like a retard in the bed. She looks retarded in the bed. She's not moving. And her sister's like, get her to the hospital. She's like, well, I'm doing some dishes at the minute. I'll think about it. And she puts the phone down. 23rd of November 1995, the next day. And Awilda knocks on a neighbour's door, and she brings the neighbour into the apartment and brings the neighbour in to look at Eliza, and she's saying, look, I don't know. She's not moving. She's not. Bearing in mind, she was saying that. She was saying that the day before, okay? And the neighbour looks straight at this little girl who's lying on the floor, who's quite obviously deceased. She's dead. And she calls 911. He calls 911, sorry. He had told her to do it, but she didn't, so he did, all right? And Awilda, when she realises 911's been called, she runs up to the roof of the apartment building, tries to jump off during this time while the police are coming and everything else, and the ambulance and God knows what else are turning up. She decides, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna jump, okay? But the police pull her back. It doesn't happen, obviously, okay? And like I say, he knew little Elisa was dead, and the paramedics are there, and of course they declare her dead. And the liquid that had been seen coming from her nose and her mouth was actually fluid coming from her brain. Oh my God. Now, Awilda tells the police that she'd slammed Eliza into a concrete wall a couple of days earlier. And she didn't really walk or talk after she did that to her. So she watched her die for days. And on the night before, she'd known she was dead. She knew. And she called her sister and said, I'll do the dishes first. She just left her there. One of the kids was asked, like, what's happened to your sister? What happened? And they were like, nothing. She's just dead. She's just dead. Nothing happened to her. She's just dead. I mean, how, what's the word am I looking for? How desensitized had these children become from what they'd gone through? That they can see their little sister or older sister. I'm not too sure which child it was that said it, but they could see her dead on the floor. They're just like, yeah, she's dead. Now an autopsy's done on little Eliza, and her cause of death was a hemorrhage to her brain and also blunt force trauma from obviously being slammed into a concrete wall head first. And when the autopsy's done, they spot that she's got broken fingers. In fact, her little finger, the bone was protruding out of it. She had many, many internal injuries. She had burns and abrasions to her head, her face, her lips, look at her mouth, her body, cigarette burns. There was also other markings that they thought were cigarette burns, but it turns out they were from a stone in a ring. Imagine looking at marks on a child's body to the point where you think that's a cigarette and it's not. It's a stone mark from a ring. How hard are you having to hit anybody, let alone a child, to imprint a stone into their body, into their skin, over and over again? She had injuries to her genitals, as I'd mentioned, after being raped and sodomised by, as I said, a hairbrush, toothbrush. This had been going on for months, The pathologist said this was long-term abuse, not just physical, but emotional and sexual. This poor girl just went through the worst child abuse that many of them had ever seen at the time. And of course, there's uproar in New York over this little girl and what she'd gone through, and the fact that people had heard her screams, and CPS had done nothing. Now, Rudy Giuliani had been mayor, I think, of New York at that time. So he'd issued a legislation in February of '96, bringing in Eliza's law, and it's basically accountability for the welfare workers that children under their care, you know, and who've been reunified with family. You know, it holds the workers accountable when these children are killed while they're supposed to be in their care. Okay. Now we know, okay, we know that nothing changed. We do know that. It's said that Rudy Giuliani did dismantle the child services and rebuilt it back up. But as we know, with the stories I've done, especially the stories from New York that I've done, didn't really change anything, which is really, really sad. Now, her little funeral that was held, it was Gustavo's aunt wanted to claim little Eliza's body, okay? And a Wilder right to the end was up. No. Now, Wilder had been arrested because obviously she'd admitted slamming her daughter's head into a brick wall or concrete wall. But, yeah, she didn't want to let them have little Eliza's body. So she was just left. She was left. No funeral, no nothing. And it said that all the neighbours and not in the building itself, just them, but in the whole neighbourhood, they all chipped in to give this little girl her funeral, which is so sad. And it was an open casket. They put as much makeup on her as they could, but the bruises were still visible on this little girl. Now, her headstone says, "World, please watch over the children." And as I said, it was just, what was sad about it is she was supposed to be buried with her dad. Gustavo had paid for 2 plots. No, they made sure she wasn't. She was buried with a stranger. You know, you can normally buy 2 plots. Yeah, she was buried with a complete stranger. Just that final. She couldn't even let them meet in death, which I thought was just the most rotten thing I've ever heard. Now, 25th of June 1996. A Wilder, she pleads guilty. She pleads guilty to 2nd-degree murder. Okay? Of course she did, because she's a coward. And her sentence was, I was shocked. With An American Story, I was shocked. She got 15, well, she was told she would, her first parole hearing wouldn't be before 15 years. I was shocked at that. I was, okay? But her first parole hearing was 2010 and it was refused, okay? But I can tell you that on the 19th of April 2022, so she actually done 26 years in prison. Why didn't she get life? I don't understand. But 26 years in prison, she was released. Okay, so she's out. She's been out for, what, nearly 4 years? Oh, she'd been I think she was 96. She was 29. So she'd be, what, if we had 39, 49, 59. She'd be about 55, thereabouts. What's the betting she'll try and find her kids? If she hasn't already. Or she convinced them that it wasn't her, because I'm about to tell you something in a minute, but let me just finish this part, okay? Now, in October of 96, Carlos Lopez, who was already locked up at the time, he pled guilty for he'd also slammed little Eliza's head into the concrete wall. He'd also done that. And he got a sentence. 18 months to 3 years for that he got. That's what he got. I've got nothing more on him. But what? I was so disappointed while researching it. I was so disheartened when I was researching this, because it was so bad, and it was so many people, remember this case, and it was one of the worst cases, to the point where the whole child services was dismantled, and they give her that she's out. He's out probably. I mean, I don't know if he's reoffended. I don't know any more of him, but she's out. I'm assuming she hasn't gone back in. I don't know. I couldn't find any more on her since she was released. And the poor 5 kids that remember her the 2 older siblings that were older than Eliza, and the 3 that were younger, they were all raised in separate homes. They went to separate foster homes. I don't know whether them being together would have been more damaging. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they separated them all. And it says that each one of them had severe emotional issues. No surprise when your mum's a demon. And the 3, your dad's also a demon. I felt very, very sorry for the siblings too, for what they went through. And like I say, how desensitised to just be like, yeah, don't know what happened. Nothing happened, she's dead. Very matter of fact, very monotone, okay? So when I says I'll let you know a little bit more about a Wilder, now obviously this isn't from after she's left prison. I don't know any more of her, but this was before she pled guilty, okay? She was being held at Rikers Island, okay, when this happened. And there was a talk show host at the time. Well, there was a talk show at the time called Rolanda Watts Talk Show. And on the show it's R.O., just those 2 initials, but I believe the lady's name's Rolanda Watts, okay? And she, as the talk show host, went into Rikers Island prison to do an interview with a Wilder. Oh my God. You can see pictures of her and you're like, ugh. But then when you hear her, oh, it makes your skin crawl, because you think, you can see, sometimes when you do see these monsters talk, and they're putting on a front, because they don't act that way when they've been behind closed doors and they're beating these children. But you can imagine how they convince people that they're nicey Mary Poppins. Not this woman. Not this woman at all. Oh, she's rotten. Go and have a look. Please go and have a look. Like I say, this is 30 years ago, so the quality of the video is not great. But she's just vile. And here's a couple of the things that she said. The interview host, Rolanda, she was great. I thought she was really good. She was quite scathing. It's in it's in 5 parts, about 8 or 9 minutes a piece. Okay. I think the reason it's in those parts is because of the break. So they've split it down into those parts. Whoever's uploaded it, I think it's her who's uploaded it, or the show. And the interview, she's going, yeah, I cry for my child. I love my daughter. And it's just, there's no feeling in it. And she's very aggressive. She's really aggressive in it. She doesn't make sense a lot of the time. Then she starts to say it wasn't her at all. She said, she changes the story a lot. She says it wasn't her. She was asleep. And, you know, it must have happened because she drank. So it must have happened while she was asleep. Then she says it was Carlos. Now, remember, Carlos was in prison. So it couldn't have been him. Oh, she's just the stuff. She admits that she used to hit her, but she goes, I didn't murder her. I did used to hit her. I did hit her, but I didn't murder her. You know, when she was asked that the neighborhood, when they would see Eliza, they called her a walking dead child. I mean, that's horrific on its own. And apparently, yeah, they'd say, because she was so quiet and she was so withdrawn, and they knew something was wrong. And she was like, what do you think about that? What do you think about them calling your daughter? You know, they knew that. She was like, dismissed that kind of, but just got quite aggressive in it. Saying I didn't murder her. Like I say, I hit her, but I didn't murder her. And then she asks her, what would you say to Eliza if she was here? What if you could speak to her, what would you say? Do you know what she says? She goes, I've got to pay for murder. I didn't murder you. That's what she'd say to her. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't murder you, but I've got to pay for murder. And at the time, remember, she hasn't pled guilty. She's, you know, they're getting the case together. The trial hasn't happened. Nothing's happened. She's on, remand at Rikers Island. And she's obviously pleading, saying, you know, I didn't do it and everything else. And you just think, you are just vile. You are just the worst person. I didn't murder you. Yet you plead guilty. You plead guilty to it. Just, she's so away with the fairies. It's unbelievable. But please go and watch it, because I think to get an inkling, small inkling of maybe the monster she was and who Eliza had to deal with, I think it shows it slightly. I don't even know she was trying to put on a front. It was just, it was surreal to watch. But that was the devastating Eliza Isquierdo story. Yeah, just so sad. Such a sad story. I've known about it for quite a long time. It was probably one of the earlier cases in New York. And as I said, you know, they supposedly dismantled the child services, and yet, how many stories have I done? How many cases have we come across in New York in the 90s, around that time period? There was so many. And it's just to think, I mean, Lisa Steinfeld, we have Miles Dobson, just so many. And right up to now, and not just New, obviously everywhere. We know it is, but I've never heard of the Child Services Department being dismantled either, and just to be built back up to be more of the same, no protection for these children. Yeah, very, very, very sad. But thank you so much for joining me. I genuinely really appreciate it. Yeah, if you like it, I'd appreciate that too. But just thank you for joining me, and I will yeah, I'll see you all soon. Take care. Thank you. Thank you. How are we all doing, guys? How are we? It's one of the very worst I've heard on this channel. Yours. Oh, thank you, Phil. Thank you so much. Oh, it is just. I just felt rotten. I just felt rotten, even though I knew the story. Obviously, I was going to do it last week, but it's just, it just leaves you with the worst feeling when you know. I think why I felt like that is because she's out. I think that's what's done it. She's out. She's not on death row. She's not locked up for life. A lot of these stories, they're locked up, no parole, aren't they? Generally the case. And just the fact that, all right, she didn't do 15 years, she done 26. But the thought that she's out, I think that's what's really sickened me in this story. It's just awful. And the fluid coming out. Yeah, that's awful. The neighbour saw that as well, and she saw it the night before. She saw it. She talks about it in that interview. She talks about it in the interview, and it's like, you rotten woman. You rotten. You knew she was dying. You knew that girl was dying, and you just left her there. And she admits it. She admits it in the interview. She says, then I knew she'd gone, but I just kept hoping she'd come back, and she didn't. She didn't come back. So she just left her there until she went and got the neighbour. So the interviewer was saying she'd left her for 2 days, but she was quite insistent it had been a day, and I've worked it out. It's the next day she gets a neighbour. But who knows? Who knows? It could have been 2 days. I wouldn't have put anything past her. Just awful, horrible woman. And yeah, watch the interview. Honestly, watch it. It's called talk show. It's called hold on a second. What did I say it was? Rolanda, isn't it? Rolanda Talk Show. If you put that in, Rolanda, Rolanda, and it's Rolanda Watts, Watts, and it's a talk show, and it's in part. It's called is it Little Girl Lost? Something like that. And have a look. And I'm only telling you to have a look, not for the talk show itself, but for her interview with her. And but you see one of the neighbours talks about how she felt about it, and her organising the money to get her buried. Yeah, just awful. Yeah, you should. Yeah, I would honestly, because it just, when there's stuff like that out there, I like people to go and have a look, because you can kind of put people to the story that I'm doing, because I don't edit, as we know. I don't attach photos and videos or anything else, which is quite deliberate. I always, when I started the channel, I knew I wasn't going to do that. I didn't want to do. Some people don't want to. Some people don't want to see pictures. It's bad enough what you can imagine. They don't want to see it. Oh, guys. Oh, do you know what I meant? Talking of that. Do you remember I did the... Oh, no. Do you know, because I've got this in my head. Do you remember I did the... Oh, what story is it now? Oh, thank you, Tiff. What was the case now? Help me out, guys. I did it months and months ago, and it was Shanda Van Ark. Do we remember that? And it was... what was his name? His brother was called Paul, and his name was it Timothy? Have I got that right? Timothy Van Ark? But her name was Shanda Van Ark. Oh, God. She Hi, Tyler. Wow, that story, I don't know if you remember, the name rings a bell. Okay, I'll tell you what the story was. She was rotten, again, aren't they all? And the story is she's got other kids, but she gets her two. Can you not? Oh, yeah, just above. Just above. Yeah, she gets her two boys back, and they both on the spectrum. And the one, for whatever reason, she just starts starving him. And I tell you why it might ring a bell. She would make the brother, while she was at work, put him in. He was 15. And she'd make him sit in an ice bath, and she'd put hot sauce on bread and make the brother give it to him. Is that ringing a bell to you at all? I've done it months and months ago, this story. But I want to send you something special in the mail. Oh, that's very sweet, Tyler, but I won't. I don't accept gifts, but thank you. That's very sweet. But yes, anyway, there is I'll tell you what, Phil, you might like it too. Tiffany, I think I've recommended the channel to you. Don't know if I've recommended it to you, Phil. But it's called This Is Monsters. It's a podcast. So Phil, be great for you. I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. It's a podcast. And the reason I'm saying, Tiffany, you should watch it as well. It's called, he only uploaded it, I think it was yesterday or the day before. And he's titled it, She Kept Her Son in the Closet. I think that's the title of it. No. Sorry. Do you know what it is, Phil? I'm not involved in these chats that you have, in these banter back and forth. So I always catch myself. But yeah, it was put up yesterday, I think. So look for This Is Monsters. I think you'd like the channel anyway, Phil. Tiffany, I think I've mentioned it to you, but yesterday's one was the title, She Keeps Her Son in a Closet. I think that's the title. It was only put up yesterday. And Phil, obviously, you're not going to be able to see what I'm talking, but it's described on it. Tiffany, you're going to see. And basically, when I did the story, I'd watched the trial and everything else. She's rotten. She's vile. There's a whole trial on it. The brother gets sent down as well for life. He was about 20. And I remember when I did the story and when I told the story to you, I think I was torn. On the brother, because it did seem like he was on the spectrum. And it was you were made to feel, no, I'm not mocking anyone, but you were made to feel that she'd roped him into basically abusing his younger brother. So he was about 20. And Timothy was, I'm sure it's Timothy, he was about 15. And at the end of the story, I was like, I'm a bit torn. I don't know if he should have been locked up. You know, he was under the mum's, spell or whatever. Oh, watch that. Watch that later or listen to it. And you're going to realise, oh, he deserved every second of the time he's been locked up for. The things he did to his little brother while the mum wasn't there. All right, there was cameras throughout the house, but while the mum wasn't there, the stuff he done to his brother. And then you see actual footage. I won't want to watch it, as you've just told me. No, I haven't. I'd already done the story, so no. The reason I want you to watch it is because I've never seen the camera footage from the house. we saw camera footage from the police station, the police, but this has got footage from during, like, in the house, and you see him in the closet, and we've never seen how thin he was. Like, you never saw when he was alive or when he was dead. You know, they don't show it, do they? Oh, this channel shows the camera footage of him locked in that closet and what they were doing. Horrific. I don't know where he got the footage from. He's really, really good podcast, really well researched. I don't know where he found it, but go watch that this evening or whenever you've got time, because, oh God, it will give you a whole other insight. Phil, she keeps using Buck's words like see and watch. I apologise on her. Well, I'm talking to you as well. Phil can listen because it's described as well. Obviously, he describes really well. It is a podcast, so he describes it all really well. But I know, Phil, she's horrible. But Tiffany, you can watch it and you can see this lad was something like £30 and he was 15. So that's just over 2.5 stone. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was the size of what a 10-year-old should be. And he was 15. You've never seen anything like it. And he does describe it very well, Phil. So, yeah, I'm just giving you some watching for later if you want to. If you want to. Stop it, Tiffany. How have you been anyway without Warwick? How's it been tonight? Has it been quiet? Have you been quiet there? I did notice the comments weren't going crazy like usual. Has Kelly gone? I did notice it was quieter. We'll have to get him back. We'll have to see if we can get him back. It's a shame though. I do get his problem if his comments. Jess, it's no wonder you can't stand your sister. I know, Phil. I know. I don't even know how we're related, to be honest. I don't get it. I think the story was a lot, so listened. Okay, fair enough. It was a lot to know. It was. Do you know what? And I'm going to tell you, I've got one for you next week as well that I've kind of been working on this week. Because don't forget, I'd already got this one ready. So I've kind of got an idea of next week's one already, unless something else catches my eye. But yeah, I think I've got the one for next week as well, and that's going to devastate you just as much. Yeah, it really is, actually. It really is. Yeah. Oh God, I won't tell you anything about it. I'll let you wait for that one. I'm sure you'll be very excited for that one. I don't mean that. I didn't even mean that, but it sounded like I meant it. I thought I was putting a sarcastic tone across, but I don't think I did. But anyway, guys. Thank you for joining me, you two. Thank you. And then there were two. I do see Warwick's point. It must be so frustrating. It's enough to wind anyone up, so I don't blame him. Hold on. Amma, don't mess, or I'll take your stick and throw it in her head. Stop it. Leave him alone. There's just... Tiffany, we've got Phil. We have Phil left. That's it. I mean, Kelly did come in earlier, so we do slightly have Kelly as well. You know, and Tyler, oh my God, that no one can see. You know, we've lost Warwick because, as Phil said, I know it would be soul destroying. Like, you know, if you're trying to keep a conversation, you can't understand it. I know, tell her, Phil. Tell her she's just, I tell you what. Well, this is it. It's all we got, guys. See, we're going to try and keep Kelly as close to us as possible. We've lost Jessica. I haven't seen Jessica in a while. Look, Phil, what did you do? Did you divorce her? You got Tiffany divorcing Warwick. I feel like you divorced Jessica. We're just losing everyone hand over fist. We just need to... So, Tiffany, be nice. See how loud I've got? I got really loud in that section, didn't I? I got really loud then. But I'm gonna let you go. Although I've only got one kid in school tomorrow because the one broke up today. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to have the week off. I was going to. I've never done anything to Jessica. I don't know where she's. Oh, I'm only playing. I feel like I just wet myself a little bit. Did I? I just said that. Yeah, I did that. I just said that. I said that out loud, didn't I? That's terrible. Phil, what did you do with Jess? Did you put her in the bin, confused with recycling after all her takeaways? Stop. Do you know, this is probably... Sorry, Phil, I take it back. It's not you, it's her. It's her there. That's why Jessica's not back. It's got nothing to do with you. I am going to have to let you go. You are on a roll, look at ya. Bum, look at ya. Phone yourself. I can't even laugh because I laugh, I can't. And then accidents happen. And it's not good. It's not good because I'm on my rug. That's not good. Face is going all red and everything. But Phil, I take it back. Not blaming you any longer. It's that one. She's seen her off and she won't come back again anymore now. We've lost her. I think it was... Right, now she's going. Right, thanks, sis, I'm gone. Is that what happens? Is that where we're going? Right, I was normally, with a half term, I do normally have a break. Now, because I'm only doing one a week, I probably will be in on Thursday. Obviously, if I'm not, I'll knock it off. That's horrible. But let's call it a night before she can insult us anymore. I know, Phil, I am. But yeah, I'll let you know, obviously earlier on the Thursday, but I think I'll still do it. I think I've only got one a week, so I think I still will be doing it next week, but I will let you know a bit earlier. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll let you know. But yes, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Look, come and subscribe, guys. Look, come and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And my moderator will stop. What happened to Dale? Dale left. Look, you've got to be nice to Tiffany. But have a lovely weekend, guys. I really, honestly, thank you so much for everyone who's come in, and Bill and Kelly and Tiffany, obviously my moderator extraordinaire. And I'll see you next week. Take care. I didn't insult him. You didn't insult Dale. You didn't. Because he's new. You can't insult him. You can't insult the newbies. But anyway, I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Love yous. Bye.